Welcome to a new video of a new tool I've built yesterday. There are some things that in my community they keep me asking over and over, so I decided to build the little utilities to make just for things. First of all, many people ask me how do I backup the files for Clipper. Of course, you can clone your SD card or copy the SD card, but if you want a quick copy of the relevant file, maybe before you start modifying your printer config, this is a good utility. It adds a macro that creates a zip file in your configuration folder, so you can download and store it, and you have it, and should contain all the relevant file. The second things people get a little bit confused is how to create the input shaper graph. So of course you already need to configure input shaper in printer config, but then this utility add the macro that you press, it create the input shaper, create the picture of the graph, and then it save the new input shaper value in the printer config automatically. Then maybe when I help someone, I struggle asking for various file, understanding what's going on. So I add this macro that create this diagnostic files. It collects the most relevant diagnostic file and create again a zip file that you can share, download. It will contain sensitive information, so please don't share it on internet. Share with person you trust. And then as a bonus, I add a couple of macros for PID tuning. So installing these utilities is pretty simple. You have to have the G-code shell command, and for this you can run cow option 4 and option 8. If you have already installed, you can skip it, and then connecting SSH with PuTTY or simple SSH to your Raspberry and run these 3 lines. And at the end of the procedure, you will have in the software package managed by Moonraker the Gab3D Clipper utilities installed, so you can be up to date. Let's start. Let me show you how to do. So here I'm connected with Raspberry Pi. I run cow. And I press 4 advanced and then 8 G-code shell command. It warns you because it's dangerous if you do not use it carefully, and you can proceed install. And then I already installed, so it asks me if I want to overwrite it. I say yes or no, doesn't matter. Is also for this, yes or no, doesn't matter for our purpose. And so B as back and Q as quit, and you are back in the prompt. And then you can copy those 3 lines and run it. It will install all the prerequisites for the packages, so it will run for a bit and create everything needed. At this point, if you go in your printer and connect, you will find these new macros. I here have them grouped by a category. You won't find grouped because this is something I did in the user interface, but you will find in the middle of your uncategorized macros. I decided to put it apart because as you can see I have 87 macros. It will be a mess to show you. So these are the macros added by the tool, and you have backup config. So this backups your configuration as it is right now. You click it, it runs, and at the end it creates this zip file that you can download from here, or main cell or fluid, doesn't matter. This is our just created backup. As I told you, you can create diagnostic files, and this collects the logs from the last startup of the printer, of all the most important logs and all the most important conf file. So you can send it to a friend, and your friend will be able to help you if you have any trouble. And also create this zip file that you can find again in configuration backup, and this is the new diagnostic file just created. Then you can run the input shaper and get the graph. You can run it for X axis, X and Y axis, or only Y axis. I won't do it right now because it takes time, because it will home the printer, start the procedure for input shaping, save the input shaping in your printer config, and generate the graph. To read the graph, you can go into the shaper folder, and you will have here your graph that you can download. Let me download, open it, and here is the graph that it generates. And so you can take all your consideration in how your printer is configured. Then what else I have? I have 2 macros for PID, and you can set the temperature of the bed and the PID of the hot end. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Put a like on the video and comment if you have question or suggestion for improvement. Thank you very much. See you soon.